Okay, we're going to do one a little bit backwards here, but different goals for different people. And I recently had somebody come to me and say, I want to create $100,000 a year in income that will last for as long as I live and for as long as my wife lives, for both of us to have until we're both gone. So pretty simple to do, but instead of figuring out how much is this going to pay, we're going to look at what will it take to get them to have that $100,000 a year, which is a little more than $8,300 a month in lifetime income. And that's what we want, is lifetime income. We don't want to have to worry when we get into our 70s, 80s, 90s, whether we're going to have enough money to be able to survive, to keep the lights on, to pay our rent, to pay our mortgage, whatever it may be. We just need to be in the right place for comfort. And we certainly don't want to have to rely on our children or anything like that. So we're going to look at what it takes for them. And again, things will differ by age, by location, but not a whole lot, but by a little bit. So this person is 65 years old, living in Texas. You can see right here, we're going to set up $100,000 a year. It's going to be on an annual basis. It's set up for joint, so for both husband and wife, for however long either of them lives. And we're going to start with a 5-year deferral, meaning they would put the money in, and right now they're 65. They wouldn't start to take it until age 70. You can do it earlier than that, but this allows it to grow, and it grows pretty well inside of an annuity until the time that you turn it on and start your income. And with most annuities, you don't have to make that decision when you set it up. You can turn it on just about any time. So if in 3 years in, something changes and you need to start that income, you can start that income. So here we're going to have $100,000. We're going to work with a 5-year deferral. So once age 70 comes, then they're going to start the monthly income. And again, once this monthly income starts, it'll be the same for both of them until they're both gone. So if the wife outlives the husband or the husband outlives the wife, doesn't make any difference whatsoever. In this case, he would need to put into the annuity $907,000 at age 65, and then come age 70, can turn on $100,000 a year in income. Pretty simple, pretty easy to understand. And again, these are all A-rated companies. We don't look at anything other than A-rated companies. We want to be very comfortable there as well, but this will accomplish our goals. Now, if we want to make it so we don't have to put in quite as much, we're going to move it to a 10-year deferral. So we're going to start at age 65, and then we're going to turn it on at age 75. So some people don't need this income right away. They're more concerned about needing it when they're going to be much older, and where they may run into things where they're much older, but this will just give the peace of mind once we get there. So we're going to, same scenario here, we're just going to change it from 5 years to 10 years. So that will take the initial investment down to $625,000. So if you put $625,000 in Texas at age 65 and you wait until age 75 to turn on the income, it will generate $100,000 a year in income every year going forward for you and your spouse, however long either of you lives. For that period of time, it is guaranteed it will come in. You can take it monthly, you can take it annually, whatever works better. If it's qualified money that you start with, in other words, if you take it out of an IRA or 401k and you start with that money, this money, just like that money, will be taxed as you take it. If you start outside of a retirement account, like an inheritance or just a lump sum that you have, you're only taxed on any gains that are made as you go. So just clear to understand what the taxes are. I get that question a lot as well. But you can see here, when we do this on this 10-year, this would be an illustration, and way too many numbers on this page. Don't worry about all this. All we're really looking at here is the annual withdrawal amount. So you can see first we started with the $625 at the top, and then at age 75, we're going to start to take $100,000 a year. And you can see that goes on and on and on. It does not stop as long as either of you are still alive. So if 20 years later at age 95, one of you is still alive from that initial $625,000 investment, you would have collected $2 million in that $100,000 a year if either one of you makes it to age 95. If you make it to 105, it's going to be that much more, another $1 million going into your bank account. So just significant income can be had. It's more about the comfort level and the return to you as the investment. It just works out very well. So this is one way to look at it, kind of backwards. If you'd like my help, I'm happy to do that. Just visit rolloverup.com. You can book a call with me. We'll talk about it pretty quickly if it makes sense. And it doesn't make sense for everybody. You know, you need to have some assets to be able to do it, because you can't put everything that you have into a guaranteed monthly scenario. You need to be able to still have some liquidity on other things. So we just want to make sure from a suitability standpoint that it's right for you. But we can figure that out pretty quickly. And probably by now you got a pretty good understanding of how things work. I'm happy to help. Have a fantastic day.